Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Oh my God, look what I did! I brought a Chillmonger.
He always keeps bringing me in. It's crazy.
It's sometimes they say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again and hoping for a different result. But I don't want a different result. I actually rather enjoy the Chillmonger here. We're chill. All right. So we are here to talk about all sorts of comic book news that has happened over the course of the week. What's something that's been happening during the course of the week, man?
Some stuff came out about the Logan film and what was going on during the production of it.
Yes, yes. This was actually a really interesting one because James Mangold, who did the movie, the Logan movie, also the one before that, The Wolverine, with the Batman coming up. Can we have the Wolverine versus the Batman one day? Anyway, so Mangold, he did a screening of his movie, did a watch party because they want to release the Mangold cut. So he just started talking about a whole bunch of things, and there were two things of particular interest that really piqued my curiosity. He talked about how Kevin Feige was, of course, a part of the Fox cinematic universe for Marvel and all that. And during the X-Men movies, every so often, Hugh Jackman would ask about how was Wolverine in the comic books. And Bryan Singer, who was in charge of those movies at the time, was just like, no, we're not going to do the comic book stuff. Kevin Feige had no voice. No voice. Like the few times in the production movies, the production meetings that he'd be in where they'd be like, hey, Kevin, what do you think? He'd be like, I think we should just stick to the comic books. And everybody just shut him down immediately. According to Mangold, they shut his ass down with the quickness. Remember, they made the comment, oh, there's no way that we can actually have them wearing their regular costumes in the original X-Men movie. This is what we wear, black leather.
Yeah.
It's like, would you prefer yellow spandex?
Yes. I, the
Right?
audience, would.
Right?
They gotta listen to the fans.
Right? It's a funny joke, but then like when they put Spider-Man in his regular costume instead of black leather, right? In the Sonyverse. And then when Feige comes along and he's there with oh, for crying out loud, what's his name from The Mandalorian, the main guy? I know his name.
Yeah, Din Djarin.
No. The producer, the main producer, main director.
DB Weiss and no, those are screenwriters. What am I thinking?
Oh my God, what the hell is the matter with me?
Filoni, Favreau.
Yeah, there's Favreau. There's Favreau. Okay, so when he was doing the Iron Man movie and all that stuff, they didn't put Iron Man in black leather. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
could you imagine Iron Man in black leather?
It's like, oh look, it's Judas Priest breaking the law. So anyway,
that Endgame final battle scene was my validation. How everyone's in uniform fighting them, and I'm just having feelings. So I don't care about different costumes and whatnot.
Right? Freaking Bryan Singer, just wrong, and every so often he was freaking wrong, like this guy. So as it turns out, Manigold points out that Feige used to sneak comic books onto the set and into Wolverine.
What year was this? What year?
Back with the original Wolverine or the original X-Men movies and all that stuff.
Yeah, there wasn't like a digital app that he could covertly go through.
Right? No, he just walked in and he snuck comic books and he's like, hey, what you got, man? Got the X-Men. Got the latest X-Men for you. Got gold watches on this side. Like, like he's selling stuff in a trench coat. But yeah, that's one of the things that he used to do.
Yeah.
And the other big thing that actually came out of this was, you remember that end credit scene with Mr. Sinister, the Essex Corp?
Yeah, it was in the suitcase, wasn't it?
That's right. It was the suitcase. It was the blood sample, all that stuff. Essex Corp, which of course is Mr. Sinister. That movie we never got to see Mr. Sinister or any of the Essex Corp stuff in any of the movies.
But they teased it.
Because it was actually supposed to appear in the Channing Tatum Gambit movie.
Oh.
He was actually supposed to be the main villain in the Gambit movie. Yeah. which is
That's
interesting
interesting.
because they did show in the comic books that Sinister actually hired Gambit. This was a big deal to go and steal some of the stuff from the X for the Weapon X program and all that to give back to him so that he could advance his genetic studies and whatnot. Excuse me. So that was actually supposed to be in the movie, something along those lines. So wow,
Gambit was
wow,
in the Wolverine Origins film, wasn't he?
yes,
Okay, but continuity means nothing in the X-Men because even Emma
no,
Frost was in the Wolverine Origins movie.
that's right. That's right. But all that stuff was changed with the X-Men Days of Future Past stuff anyway. So
That's like me trying to explain how is Amadeus Cho 13 but now he's 20. Well, all of it changed that Secret War. So, yeah, you're
that's right.
right.
That's
Or
right.
Flashpoint. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's Flashpoint. Oh, the DC universe is actually ending right now with DC Metal, whatever they're calling heavy metal.
So they're going to rebrand or reboot completely? Or is this like
Yes.
a.
Every 5 years, they usually reboot. Ever since the Crisis on Infinite Earths, so there's the pre-crisis stuff, and then the post-crisis stuff, and then there's the New 52, and all the constant reboots that they did every 5 years. And they did the Identity Crisis, they did the Flashpoint, they did the Rebirth, and now this
Yeah.
is the post-rebirth Earth, and it's going to be wiped away. And the final nail in that coffin is them going at it with the Joker, or the Batman Who Laughs, and then they're going to open into something new.
I would love for them to tell me what my window is of how long the DC universe would last for. Imagine in the New 52, 2011, they just said, yo, chill, get on board. The next 10 years of comic books will be this story. What, 5 years? Yeah, you're right.
5 years. Yep.
Because they went to Rebirth. I don't think that was planned, though, right? They never planned on doing Rebirth. They actually thought New 52 would be the thing forever and ever. So just
No,
commit to something.
no, they didn't. Plus, they didn't even know they were going to be doing Rebirth at Flashpoint.
Yeah.
That was Jeff Johns did the Flashpoint, and then Didio and all these guys were like, "Hey, that's really good. We could reboot the universe like that." And Johns was like, "Yeah, I didn't plan on doing that. We should no, change the ending." Damn it. so yeah, that's what wound up happening. That's why it was such a rushed thing. He comes back and he sees 3 universes merging into one. I must fix this, and now everybody's stupid. So yeah, there's Rebirth, and now we're gonna have something else, and hopefully it's not gonna be the 5G.
What year is the everything rebooting again? Will that be next year comics or will it be this year?
I don't know, because we talked about it here on the podcast several weeks ago, where they said that now that Didio is gone, everybody, which kind of includes Jim Lee, even though he's asleep half the time apparently, they're all saying he's just doing drawings for charity because that's the only thing that CEOs or whatever can do, publishers can do. So he says all these guys, they're like 5G is on hold indefinitely. So Scott Snyder was super happy because it's like, I get to do DC's Dark Knight's metal, and it's heavy metal, and I don't have to worry about 5G anymore. So I don't have to transform anything into something else. It could just end whatever. And now they're saying that the universe is actually going to end with that. The entire Rebirth and post-Rebirth Earth is going to actually stop with what they're doing in heavy metal. So whatever comes next, maybe they've got something planned for it. Maybe they are going to stick with the 5G. Maybe they're just going to actually stop doing comic books for a couple of months so that they can have a big team meeting or whatever and actually start putting out new stuff. I'd actually be okay with that, believe it or not,
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would never stop doing comic books knowing that there's a customer base that I could be losing. Let's keep them in that habit of buying books because once they go away, they'll realize, oh, I don't need this stuff to live. It's not so essential. Well, maybe I won't be back.
Batman, Superman, nah, the stuff's essential. There is no, no, you can't. It's hard to live without some Superman and Batman in your life if you're a comic fan. I don't want to hear it. So what else we got?
Tell me about Keanu Reeves.
Oh, okay.
Would he make a better Batman or Superman? Batman.
I think he'd make a better Batman, yeah. Yeah, but it's Keanu Reeves. I mean, he could play anything. At the same time, like imagine Superman after you just got finished killing Crypto. and he goes John Wick Superman on you. Like him just running in going, dude, and eye beams.
He'd make a better villain than a hero. Oh, would he be a better Joker or a Luthor? Joker.
Probably Joker, but I don't want to see him as either, honestly. I could see him as a Batman. I could see him as Aquaman, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? I could see him as a bunch of characters. But what I think we're going to see him as is
Marvel.
Ghost Rider.
Ah.
I think he's going to wind up being the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. Now, here's why. Every year, it turns out, Marvel meets with Keanu Reeves and talks about, hey, this is what's on our slate. Is there anything that you're interested in doing? And he always says, nah. He's a chill guy. He's always giving what, like, I think all the money that he made from the first Matrix movie, he gave to the people on the set so they could, be hooked up. He helps people out all the time. He gives people his seat on the subway when it's crowded because he takes this freaking subway.
I saw that photo.
Right? At one of the it was actually the whole video. At one point, he which movie was it? I can't remember which movie it was. I think it was one of the John Wicks. He's currently doing John Wick 4 right now. But so that's still coming out. But I think it was one of the John Wicks, but whatever it was something. He actually goes and buys custom Harleys for a whole bunch of the people on the set. Nice. Like, that's the kind of guy Keanu Reeves is. Like, he doesn't care about the money. He's just a genuinely heartfelt, awesome guy.
Canadian.
And don't mess with his dog.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he will Baba Yaga on you.
Right? You know what? Let's just think about it. All the times that Donny Cates has killed dogs, Cates versus Keanu, like, dude, it was nice knowing you, Cates. But I mean, look, we've got the Doctor Strange 2 movie coming out, right? In the Mouth of Madness or something like that. What's it called?
And it's called The Multiverse of Madness, and my theory still stands that they'll rearrange the letters to say House of M, Doctor Strange.
That would be wicked. But everybody's talking about how Nightmare is going to show up in this. Wanda is supposed to show up in this, Scarlet Witch.
That's been advertised at Comic-Con, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What if they needed somebody else? What if it was actually Ghost Rider? Now, we've already had the Jamie Reyes version of Ghost Rider in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which, coincidentally enough, we've also had, what do you call it? We've actually had the Johnny Blaze in there, but from what I understand also, they said that wasn't actually Johnny Blaze in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That we saw, that it was actually Danny Ketch, and it did have the leather jacket. So it did look like him. It's just that they kept on teasing and saying, oh, look, here's the mailbox and the house of Johnny Blaze. Technically the original Marvel. I don't want to go into detail with that. I've got videos all about Ghost Riders and the original Ghost Rider, the ones on horseback. Yeah. But as far as the actual motorcycle, Johnny Blaze was the original one. So anyway, they actually have Johnny Blaze always talk there. So I don't know if it's going to be Danny Ketch or because we've already seen that, or if they're just going to go right into Johnny Blaze. Right. Either way.
And you're saying this not because it's the same universe and they can't be the same. You're just saying because we've already seen that Marvel has a tendency not to repeat things.
Yes. And I don't think they're going to use, what's his name? Nicolas Cage.
No.
Because that guy's actually crazy. Anyway, so that's just my theory. It's a theory. It's not a rumor. It's a theory.
Yeah.
But what's his name? Keanu Reeves. He usually meets with them once every year. In this particular case, he's apparently met with them multiple times this year.
Something's coming.
That's what I'm looking at. Again, it borderlines on rumor, but I'm just doing my own speculation, my own headcanon, if you will.
Yeah. Cosmic Ghost Rider is probably the one I would give him.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see it. But then do you also want him to be the Punisher?
Oh, that would be that, wouldn't it? Well, they could rearrange the origin of him. The funny thing is, I would want the Punisher, the Daredevil, Luke Cage. Let's keep those actors if you were to ever introduce them. And you don't got to say that their show was canon. You really don't got to do their origin over again. Just here they are, everybody.
Yeah.
And if I want to believe all the stuff I've seen them fight Wilson Fisk and that, if I want to believe that's part of their story, I will. But use the same characters since they're liked.
Yeah, two things about that. One, the original Cosmic Ghost Rider was actually in the original version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Nowadays they're called Guardians 3000.
Yeah.
So there was actually a version of Ghost Rider there, which would have been considered the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So Cates wasn't completely original with that idea, and it wasn't the Punisher. Anyway, so as far as headcanon is concerned, one of the things that Mangold said was that in the original Captain America movie, the first Avenger, Feige was actually planning on having Wolverine show up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't make the deal with Fox.
Couldn't make the deal with Fox. You see, Feige is a special kind of case. He doesn't care about the corporate bull.
Yeah.
He just wants to make good movies and do good fan service.
Yeah.
So he's willing to do the crossovers. He's willing to do all those things. But the corporate nonsense from both sides was just, apparently it was 20th Century Fox that was giving them a hard time. Well, they don't exist anymore, so they're Fox Searchlight now. But that was the big deal. So he was planning on doing a whole bunch of things that he never got the chance to do. That's why he's willing to work with the Spider-Man thing, and he doesn't care about who actually owns the rights. Can I simply play with that toy? That's all he wants.
That can't be let me put it into words because it's just so unfathomable.
Unfathomable, yep.
What he's doing is incredible. It's never been done, but the fact that two studios would play ball, here, Sony, make all the money you want from this Spider-Man film. That's what he's saying. In his brain, though, he's doing some attached universe storytelling, which matters to the fans like me. I don't give a damn what Sony's making money or how rich they're going to get off of this. The fact that the story in this Spider-Man film has direct consequences to the next Black Widow film and everything coming forward, it is great news, and it helps me. I wish all of the comic book films were attached. Well, DC and Marvel. I don't necessarily need the crossover of Bloodshot and Batman.
It could be fun.
I knew you'd say something like that.
It could be fun. I'm saying. Anyway,
your headcanon. You're invading on my territory. That's supposed to be my segment of the week.
I do apologize. You want to do that now or later?
Yeah, let's do it now.
Okay.
You can fact check me on this one because I didn't research it, but I do believe that in X-Force they established in maybe the second issue that there's a whole bunch of pollen from Krakoa in the air and the atmosphere to detect when someone's coming. That's the way that when the invaders wearing Domino's skin came in, they could sense it. Remember, Sage sensed it.
Mm-hmm.
That's true? Okay, good.
Yes.
With that being said, then, my headcanon, here's the problem and here's my solution. In X-Men Fantastic Four 2, they were talking in the room and they're like, something, the Invisible Woman. And that's when Magneto eyes open and he broke a chair apart into a little bits and he put it in the air just to see, like, if it hits something, then the Invisible Woman is in here. Well, how the hell did she get into the planet, into the island in the first place? Isn't there supposed to be this pollen that we established a few books ago with Chip Zdarsky? Were you not reading a couple months back? Well, he was, because according to Chill's headcanon, Sage did detect them. Do you remember when the Fantastic Four were escaping the island and there was a whole bunch of mutants running over to the shore? That's because Sage called them over because her pollen did find out that they were on. That's why every mutant known to man was showing up to fight them. That's Chill's headcanon. Sage was doing her job in issue number 2 of X-Men Fantastic Four.
It's a possibility. I mean, at the end of the day, there's also the idea that Magneto has an awareness of the electromagnetic spectrum. So, like, a leaf couldn't fall off a tree without him knowing about it. You know? He's aware of everything that moves on the Earth. And, of course, he's going to be extra sensitive to anything within arm's reach or sniper bullets reach of him, right? So that's just him being able to detect the electromagnetic sphere.
And that's how he detected Sue?
No, it's not. That was ignored, So did Zdarsky just miss it? Or Was it just that those suits were so amazing that it could not only hide what's in the, the pollen thing, but also the electromagnetic spectrum thing, visibility, the psychic probes, all that stuff? Was it really just that damn impressive on Reed Richards' part?
Yeah, yeah, we can give Reed Richards some points. See, that's the thing with him. He's so smart that he
Yeah.
probably did figure out a way. Or maybe he's like, wait a minute, Sue. There's these particles in the air. Make sure you move the particles around, or use your invisibility barriers to circle each pollen spore so that it doesn't move out of the way, and they won't know anything. I don't
Right?
know, but
Who knows? Who knows?
who knows?
But
Who
those
knows when
suits.
WandaVision will come out? Oh, that's actually known, right? That's coming. You tell me. December?
Yeah, that's actually coming out in December, and the Falcon Winter Soldier is slated for sometime in the fall. So, but
If we're
it's
lucky,
promised.
September.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But those two are definitely guaranteed. It was just released that they are guaranteed there will be no production delays. We're good. They're definitely coming out this year.
Now, WandaVision was filmed, and they have no reason to reshoot. But with Falcon and Winter Soldier, they were still doing some work before the big delay, and no one could do anything. I think they're working in Puerto Rico. Maybe was it? But they're doing.
I think it was.
So they have to go back and do some reshooting, but they're telling us that won't delay anything. Fine. Well, they never
Actually,
committed.
yeah, weren't they also over in like Bosnia or something like that?
Yeah, they have to go different
Yeah,
places. They've
yeah,
never actually though committed to a release date. Therefore, when they say
yes,
fall, then okay, cool, fall.
yeah, sometime in the fall.
In the
Either
autumn.
way, yeah, either way, they are guaranteeing that they will definitely be released this year. So that's cool. And then Loki will get sometime after that. Those were the original three releases that they were suggesting. So
It's a worldwide release, right, on Disney Plus.
yes.
So
Yep.
China will get it the same day we get it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So let's talk about China a little bit.
Let's talk about China.
I know China. So I love your segues, dude. And like they're obvious
Okay,
enough to me.
you can't keep calling out the segues because that just
Why
takes
not?
out the coolness of it.
Does
You're
it?
supposed to
No,
just casually flow into the
I think
next
that
one.
it adds to the coolness that you are able to like. I want to honor how great you are with these segues, dude. So
All right.
just golf clap, golf clap. So here's the thing: WandaVision. There is a trademark dispute by the Wanda Group Limited (LTD) in China. This is a company. It's actually fairly big, but it's not a lot of people know this. Many people know that China will put out cheap crap, right? The made in Taiwan stuff, the made in Hong Kong stuff, the made in whatever stuff, that it comes out as cheapy plastic stuff, whatever, bang, 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 bang. Yeah, shirts that they'll just stick out really quick, right? Like the tag in your shirt, your homemade Ironheart shirt with the Lee press on um, tattoo thing on the front. Yeah. So here's the thing: China also puts out really good stuff too. They have the factories and the machines to do all this stuff. A lot of people don't realize that there's a car that they make called the Geely, which is actually a really good car. I've driven them and I've used them plenty of times when I was in Saudi Arabia, but we put too many tariffs on them to be able to sustainably come over here at a decent price, Canada or America. So yeah, they've got the ability to do multiple, levels of things, but in this particular case, the Wanda Group Ltd. Limited is one of those cheapy companies.
Uh-huh.
So they make inflatable beach balls, inflatable wading pools for the kids. They make the cheapy little crappy toys that look like other people's toys and stuff
Yeah.
like that. They just basically they're a garbage group. You know what I'm saying? All the cheap plastic stuff they do. They also do game consoles apparently, which who knows how good those things are. But either way,
If
yeah,
you're
it's
not
not something that you get
Nintendo,
over here,
PlayStation, or Xbox, so who are you fooling?
right? So the idea is that they are called the Wanda Group, and they're saying, "Oh, WandaVision, this infringes on our copyright." The U.S. has actually extended the time for them to be able to file this.
I wonder if this company existed before Wanda was introduced as a comic book.
Probably not, but calling her the Scarlet Witch is one thing. Having something, here's the thing. There's no reason why a fair court on either side would say that they should win this lawsuit. Marvel should obviously win this lawsuit because anybody can call themselves Wanda, WandaVision. Like they have multiple different copyrights, many copyrights using the word Wanda and other things. But I don't know that they actually have WandaVision as one of their copyrights. Either way, they're making claims. So here's where I'm going to bring up an older episode where we got into a pretty big debate. Remember how I said that China has been doing some bullying tactics? Specifically, they're bullying countries. If you say Hong Kong, or if you say Taiwan, or if you say Tibet, and you don't say these belong to us, that this is just a part of China, then we're not going to do business with you anymore. We're going to, cut you out of the largest market on the face of the planet. Yeah. So they wound up doing the same thing with the movie theaters. The one movie theater chain was like, oh, you want to do Trolls 2 on your own? Okay, we had agreement with that, but you made the suggestion, aka threat, that you're going to do movies and not release them with that 1 month window in the theaters.
All right, you're not in our theater.
Exactly. None of your Universal movies will ever come to our theaters again. Done.
And I still support that, by the way. But what were you going to say?
Fun. Well, what I am saying is that this is them relying on the Chinese government to back them up. Now, what if the WandaVision Limited group decides to ask China, and if China says yes, we'll back you up? All of a sudden, well, we're not going to let Disney Plus into China. Maybe we just won't let that show come into China, but maybe we won't let the whole thing come into China.
Unless something can be worked out between the two parties.
Yeah.
In Germany, the pay-per-view Elimination Chamber is nicknamed something else. No Way Out or something. Because Elimination Chamber, what does that remind you of, right?
I guess in some small degree. Germany's a very funny place. They've got I remember when I studied marketing.
My point is just that they can rename things in different countries.
Oh, fine. Shut me up.
Go ahead.
No, it's
your podcast too. What are we going to say?
It's all good. No, they have this thing in there where they say you can't call something world's best anything. So in Costco, they have the so-called world's best socks. Can't sell them there, or you have to change their name.
Could they call Fantastic Four the world's finest comic magazine?
Ooh, oh no, probably not.
If we weren't doing a podcast, I would have Googled that right now. Just to
right,
see what
right now, check that out. Back in the day, they, the band Led Zeppelin. I'm talking back in the 60s. They showed up. They wanted to go to Germany, and Germany was like, "You can't call yourself Led Zeppelin. The guy Zeppelin is still alive. He's here. He doesn't want you using his name." It's like, dude, come on, this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? They're like, no. He says he doesn't want, or the wife of it. It's like, I don't want she called them screaming monkeys. So I don't want a bunch of screaming monkeys using my husband's name in vain. So they call themselves the Knobs. Anybody in England will laugh at this and be like, because knobs is basically a penis. A knob. So they, as a joke, they call themselves the Knobs instead. Just, Germany's got a lot of stuff where they're just like, no, can't use that. Not here.
No, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh man, but this is just China. If the Chinese government gets behind them and says, no, we're behind our company, this is that flex. One more flex.
They'll roll with whatever makes them more money.
Yeah. How long can that sustain itself, though?
I don't know. You know what? Disney's so big, they don't need the China money with the extra $300 million every film. They don't need that. But again, that's a free $300 million for every film. So. Where do you think the MCU is with their money? What do you expect an MCU film to do now? Is
what
it
do you mean?
Like, where's your expectations of the box office for Black Widow? Let's just say that one.
Oh, I don't think it's going to make $1 billion. But then again, maybe people are so anxious to get back to seeing the movies that it'll do better,
It's up in the air.
right?
I think if this was going to be a May release and everything was normal, I would say $1 billion.
Really?
Yeah. Just the momentum of it, the 10 months without seeing a film. Yes. And then I would say, I think Shang-Chi was next. Eternals was next. I don't believe Eternals would have made $1 billion, man. There's just no history of it. And so I would say Ant-Man and Wasp made 600 million.
There are a lot of women who will see anything that has Jason Momoa in it. Likewise with Kit Harington.
Ah.
So just that market alone, I would say, yeah, Eternals will probably make a good chunk of change. Plus, with enough people seeing this movie,
Yeah.
the word of mouth on it, because again, I believe in my heart of hearts, this is going to be like the next Avengers. This is going to be that formation of, you got two Avengers in the movie right now that were in the comic books, Black Knight and Cersei. They were definitely Avengers for a while, and they weren't like the most important Avengers, but they were fairly important Avengers. Black Knight, I've talked about this in my 10 things about Black Knight explained in a minute, that he could easily replace Tony Stark as the genius guy, the scientist guy in the Avengers. He's got the leadership ability that he could be like Captain America. He could pull a lot of stuff. Plus, it's Kit Harington. This is an incredible actor that a lot of people, guys and girls, want to go and see. Jon Snow knew nothing, but Black Knight, he knows a lot.
Yeah, it's possible. So where'd you put your money at? Because like the lowest I'll ever go for a film in MCU is like 600 million territory. The highest I'll go for Eternals is $1 billion. So I put it around 700, 800.
I don't know if it'll actually make the billion.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it'll make the billion.
It'll be a profitable film, which everyone will enjoy because it's Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no losing, so they don't really need the Chinese money anymore. Shang-Chi, I'm sure, is going to be... That's made for China, let's face it. That one... Yeah. I'm very interested to see if there's going to be just this spike because of their Chinese representation, or if they just simply don't care about representation and stuff like that. They're not like us. That's not me being mean, but they are different people than we are. Maybe they don't strive for the representation because of the social changes that could come from it.
It's a possibility, but they have a history of... The Chinese have a history of really caring about Chinese theater, because the Chinese theater always promoted the wushu martial art that would describe the history of the nation. Watch any almost any Jet Li interview, and he talks about, especially when you talk about the Once Upon a Time in China movies, when he talks about those, the history that's involved there. Look at the history of Yip Man. There's 4 Yip Man movies out. If not, the 4th one is coming.
Yeah, there's 4.
Yeah, there is the 4th one. Yeah. Dude, there's so much. There's so much history there, and the martial arts is what really tells that story. So you've got a Chinese martial arts film. If they do it right, oh yeah, this could wind up.
And they don't care much about the Oscar awards or nothing like that.
No.
I like that mentality. I truly don't give a damn about something being award-winning. Like, if Immortal Hulk wins the Eisner Award with that little tag on the cover of it, it makes no difference to me. It's like, that's an opinion-based award.
Yes, but at the same time, it's an opinion of your peers, and I would wear that proudly. If I wrote a comic book and I won an Eisner, I'd be walking around, man. I would like open the fly of my pants and have the Eisner sticking out and just walking around with that, be like, "What's up? What's up? Suck my Eisner."
Okay, the true opinion of my peers is on comiccron.com. At the end of every month, I get to see what everyone is reading.
I don't know, man. An award is an award. I'm a pretty competitive guy, so yeah, an award is an award for me at least. What else we got?
Did you want to talk more about Will Eisner?
Oh, if you want, sure. You paused, and I assumed your pause. I apologize.
Because it says on my topics list over here, Eisner Award, and I forgot what exactly you wanted to talk about.
Oh, just that the Eisners are coming out. People can vote on the Eisners now.
Oh, that was it? Oh, well, all right then.
The Immortal Hulk is up for an Eisner.
Again?
I actually have the list over here. There's one nomination for TKO Comics. Marvel has 3 nominations. Boom Studios also has 3 nominations. Image Comics came with 6 nominations. DC Comics comes with 7 nominations. First Second Comic Book Publishing has 9 nominations. Also IDW with 9. The number 1 with 10 nominations. You want to take a guess?
Is it like Jonathan Hickman by himself? I don't know.
That'd be cool, right?
Image, right?
Dark Horse.
Oh, yeah?
Dark Horse Comics. They have really 2 things. They've kicked up the number of comic books that they're doing and the kind of comic books that they're doing because they lost the rights to Conan. That transferred over to Marvel again. So that was a pretty big deal for them.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, crap, I had something else. So anyway, they had to kick up their regular stuff. Oh, the other thing was they stopped doing that thing in there where it's like, we will sue you if you review one of our comic books. It's like, whoa, 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 what now?
They actually too small to even consider that.
Yeah, they said if you post a picture of our comic books on anything, we will sue you. It's like, dude, well, I can't review your comic books. I don't know what to tell you then.
Good.
So they stopped doing that.
There was a movie studio that wouldn't let you do trailer reactions. They take it down. Like, you idiots. This is advertising for you.
Just a week ago, I got another notification for go figure, we're just talking about Logan, my Logan Red Band trailer reaction that I did years ago. They're like, oh yeah, copyright claim on that. I'm like, they already copyright claimed that before. So what, it dropped and then they picked it up again? What are you doing?
Very stupid.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. They didn't take it down. They just said, we want your money. So they get all of my money for anybody who's going to look at that reaction video for Logan. So
that would make me want to take down the video.
I think about it sometimes, but whatever.
Huh. Maybe if it was like the week of, but like since that's such a long time from now, who cares?
There was a comment. There's a bunch of mean comments all the time, and I like to do my mean comments videos. And what do you call it? One of the comments, I think it was on that one, was you're an idiot if you think that they can do the regular comic book costumes for these characters.
Well,
I'm like, are you kidding me? Have you seen the Avengers? I'm like, the Avengers is out, man, and you're telling me that we can't do that?
What do you say?
I didn't get a response.
Man, that circle shot in the first Avengers movie, remember how epic and cool it was? The whole score was finally playing, and Black Widow with a little gun, yeah. Hawkeye with his arrows, I'm ready to shoot at everybody. Iron Man is lowering himself, Hulk, right? And you're like, wait a minute, that was a movie, and that guy had a movie, and that guy had a movie, and she was in his movie. They're together. I feel like, look at me getting chills just thinking about that epic moment, and you're gonna tell me that. Yeah, and you're gonna tell me that they can't be in their uniforms. It's cool, like solo movies all united in one, and it's like, Kevin Feige, you're right. This is how it should be. Well, I mean,
Feige was right.
Not every solo movie. Like for Joker, for example, that's a different universe in itself, and they probably shouldn't mix, especially because that movie took place like in the 80s, and he's going to be really old if you.
And he's already in his 50s. Joaquin Phoenix is already like 50-something.
The only way I could see that happening is if they use Joaquin Phoenix in the Batman movie that's out, and they could say that this whole Batman film takes place early in Ben Affleck's career. So like Ben Affleck still is Batman, maybe.
That'd be interesting. The Penguin, the Riddler, and Catwoman are going to be in that movie, though. So there's already enough villains in there. Was this the segue?
Oh, God. It was the segue. Tell me about the other solo DC films that the Joker has inspired.
So it's recently been revealed Todd Phillips, who did the Joker movie, and talking a little bit about the Robert Pattinson Batman movie, The Batman, which is
Mm.
done by Matt Reeves. I said that the success of the Joker movie was so impressive that like I wonder if we could do really cool character in detail sketches, so to speak, about other villains in the DC universe. And the first one they came up with that Phillips commented on was actually Bane, which it
Oh,
wouldn't be Tom Hardy. It would be a completely different Bane. It would be in I've heard that they're going to be calling it the Black Label movies, which I'm cool with that because they got the Black Label comics also,
yeah.
but no confirmation on that for me yet. But
It should be.
everything, I'd be okay with it. But that being what it is, they have they've been talking about let's consider doing this, and the name, excuse me, the name that people are kicking around is Batista.
Ooh.
Because Batista was actually supposed to be in the Suicide Squad movie, but with James Gunn that James Gunn was doing, but he couldn't because he had other obligations. But
I
as
would
soon
think
as
that the contract makes it so that he can't do a DC film, but that's not the reason why. Oh,
I don't know, no, I think that it was he was doing the James Bond movie at the time. I think that's what it was. So I don't know. I've never seen his contracts though. But either way, the idea that there's that once that was announced, Batista gets online. He's like, I would love to play Bane, and the fans are just like,
yeah.
I would love for you to play Bane. So they're not actually going to do that right now. This is literally just in the talking phases about this. They're thinking maybe we can wean this in the Robert Pattinson verse to open up for other things to happen. They're like, well, we can't do Bane because there's already the three villains in there right now. So maybe we can open it up to do a Penguin thing. I mean, they've got Colin Farrell playing the Penguin. Hello, they
That's a
could definitely
good
make
casting, by
right?
the way. Yeah.
Right? Well, it's Colin Farrell. The guy could play a freaking tree. He could play Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah.
and I would believe it. I'd be like, that's a hot version of Scarlett Johansson. Colin Farrell's looking really good. I'm saying. But all things being equal, I think that would be great if they actually did do that. And they did use some of the current movies, like the Batman movie specifically, to tell character sketch stories and go into better detail about these characters. I think that they would sell. I think that they would be great.
Scarlett Johansson.
I got you on that one, huh?
All right.
That was from last week's conversation, I think.
Yeah. She's a great actress.
She is. She can play Groot.
Guardians, you're the one now who's just tying everything together with these references.
I'm saying.
You think when they do the Black Widow movie that they'll have to be very careful with the way they brand it, like the marketing around it? It's got the word black in it, and Black Lives Matters on everybody's tongue right now.
This is true. I'm actually going to march in a protest tomorrow in Mississauga. Saying.
All right.
Yep, Sunday morning. Hey, you're welcome to show up if you want. You're not too far.
I will gladly not show up in this protest.
Why not?
There is a pandemic out, and if you're like me who just has the dark... What? Why did you scoff at the pandemic?
Well, you just wear your mask and keep social distancing. We don't have to be like arm in arm.
Right. No.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Do you believe that the virus was something that came because a guy ate a bat in Wuhan? Or do you think that this is chemically made? This is...
No, I don't believe either of those. It was done because there was the wet market and they had a bunch of different animals, and a bunch of those different animals are great carriers of diseases and whatnot. And it was bound to happen. It's something that the CDC in China, before Trump disbanded it, they kept on warning, dude, this is a bad thing. Something's gonna come of this. So
Right.
yeah,
I am not there.
it was one of the few things that Obama actually set in place that was actually a good thing. Didn't involve drones.
Yeah, when I hear all of that, I'm just like, the whole virus was planned. Everybody wanted things to happen exactly how it happened. Therefore, why would I go somewhere public where the goal could be, the intention could be to spread this virus? So no protests from me.
That's fine. No, I don't think that it was planned or anything like that. If it was, horrible, because like worst or best kept secret ever, and secrets don't usually get kept for very long, and not in governments.
That's
Not
why
with
you
something
don't
like
think.
that.
That's why you don't think it's planned.
I think there's a lot of reasons for it. If it was planned, it would have been dispensed.
Who's supposed to speak on the secrets? I know this is like very far away from comic book talk, but I'm just so skeptical of the media that has the responsibility to give us and share us information. I learn more from
But
my
they don't.
like
They
you
don't.
get they weren't gonna. What was it? Was it Ahmaud Arbery who was I'm wrong. The police had the tape and decided not to do any charges. It's not until the public got to see the video of you
Yeah,
guys all
because
saw what happened.
the guy sent the thing. Yeah, this is really getting really off subject, but
Let's
yeah,
bring it back to Robin. You remember back when they had a vote to kill Robin?
yes, Jim Starlin was writing the comics, and what's his name? Jason Todd. The fans didn't like Jason Todd, so he's like, "Hey, let's have a vote in the comic books. You send in or you call in this number if you want him to live, or you call in this number if you want him to die." And I think that it passed killing him by about 72 votes. It was that close.
With that sort like style, that format of call in here, this and that. Now we have Twitter. Now we have
Mhm.
online polls. Now we have feedback. Now we have just so much accessibility to the fans. Why not utilize that? Why not say, guys, we're doing Civil War 3. Who is Iron Man?
It's got to be Iron Man, right?
Because he was in the first and the second. So
Iron
Civil
Man
War.
versus Squirrel Girl. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be ridiculous, but look, okay, let's go Iron Man 2020. Let's pretend the event didn't happen yet. Hey, Arno Stark has taken over as Iron Man. Which Marvel hero will have the biggest problem with this? Just so that they can know who they'll use in their Iron Man 2020 story. What's stopping them from doing something like that? You're not giving away spoilers, but you're at least letting the fans dictate it. And all the fans can be like talking on their little message boards and say, well, since Iron Man's biggest friend is War Machine, I want him to be the lead. Oh, you want, and then you can see that the fans voted for it, and then you make the comic. But if you didn't think that, if War Machine didn't win, and let's say Iron Heart won, then you go and you write the story of Iron Heart. But at least you're following what the fans wanted.
Yeah. We get really silly and combine that with the Outlawed, and then bring back Lunella Lafayette. Moon Girl versus Tony Stark, or Iron, whatever his name is, Arno Stark.
That would be real cool. Maybe
That
Reed.
could be.
Yeah. But like, use the fans now. It's been 30, 40 years since that vote. What are we waiting for, honestly? Let's do a fan voting. Let's do what you guys remember how Jean Grey beat Thor in that big Battle Royal Twitter poll that they were doing?
That's right.
How about you do a story based on that? Get an artist, get a writer, go crazy, and write a book about inspired by you, the people. It's Jean Grey versus Thor. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't have to be in continuity, but just we're listening to you guys, and you influenced this comic book. You matter. There's a lot of that going around, letting people know that they matter.
Yeah, call it the Grandmaster's Challenge. Call it, that comic book where Entwy Guest is, taking superheroes in their sleep and making them fight each other and things like that. It's like, have you ever wondered? Because I have. And then just, have them fight each other and go by the fan vote, boom, and yeah, hell yeah, do that, man.
Yeah.
It's in the dreamscape.
I was watching Infinity War yesterday.
Again?
Do you know who I am? Again? And I remember a scene where Scarlet Witch says, "Hands off my vision." And in the movies, but at the when I watched it on Netflix, because I have Netflix now, not Disney Plus. It expired on May the 4th, on June the 4th, which means I didn't see the gallery. What was that episode about?
The special effects and more specifically the animation department. So yeah, you'd figure there'd be more about Filoni, but no, he barely spoke. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I remember watching that scene, and I remember that Scarlet Witch said that, and she didn't say it in the new version. So I'm like, what got edited? What changed? What was modified from the theatrical release, which was what it was. If you want to watch it, then you can watch a guy with a camcorder on one of those illegal sites. I'm sure it's still up. But what changed? And I know they touched things up. I heard in an interview them say that from the digital releases, from the theatrical, we did things. How okay are you with the editing of films after their release, their initial release?
I'm not a huge fan of it. My big question is, why did they take it out? Why
To
did they
make it
take?
better.
So how does it make it better that she doesn't say hands off my vision?
Oh, by the way, that's just from my memory.
Oh,
I
okay.
just heard her say hands off, and I'm like, doesn't she say hands off my vision? It was like 2 years ago. I don't remember if she actually adds my vision or not. It just feels like it. But yeah, sorry, continue. I just don't want to be like, no,
No,
it
that's all
was
it
never
was.
in the movie.
Yeah, no, that's all it was. That's my point. Like, why, who says that it's better?
Mm.
Better according to whom? As long as they talk, you know what? Here's my thing. I just want, if I'm going to buy a DVD, I just want some director's commentaries. I want actors' commentaries. I want multiple commentaries on my videos. I love those. I'll sit down. I will. Same thing with my wife. That's one of the things that we have in common. We love just sitting down and listening to the director's commentaries, the writer's commentaries, the freaking actors' commentaries, and stuff like that. Love those. Those are great.
I find that they don't care about that stuff in the beginning of the commentary. They're just like talking like, oh, this is another work, another paycheck. And then by the time you get to the, climactic parts of the films, they actually sound like they're enthusiastic about their movie.
But sometimes you wind up getting really cool stories, like the Lord of the Rings. When they would talk about it, I learned the word toasties. That's the name of a grilled cheese sandwich in New Zealand. You don't ask for a grilled cheese sandwich, you ask for a toasty. It's like, oh, I want to know that. I want to know that Viggo Mortensen, who wasn't in there, everybody was laughing and making fun of the idea that he's a method actor. He stays in character the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So as Aragorn with the sword, he walked down into the town to get some food and stuff like that. And like the antics that ensued, I'm like, oh my God, this is why. This is why I listen to directors' commentaries. I love this stuff.
You're making me think of Thor hopping into the market. This drink, I like it. Another.
Right? Another.
You can't do that. I meant no disrespect. That was so funny. That fish out of water stuff that Thor was doing. Wonder Woman had some too when she was talking about the slave. Oh, that's your slave? That's a secretary.
What's the difference? Oh, I like her. Yeah, there's some funny stuff. I think everybody, like I said, I think everybody in that movie made the movie in spite of, or despite, not in spite of, despite Gail Gadot's shortcomings. I don't think that anything that she did by herself was particularly great.
I want to agree with you, except I don't know much about the Wonder Woman character. I also don't know much about, is Gal Gadot a bad actor? Is it bad scripting of her? I don't...
So everybody else was scripted great?
No, but with the accent of her, it's like a movie where you don't... There's just ways that you would say something, like the word return, right? That also, I could also say, I'm going to bring it back. Some people say, I'll bring back. Some people say return. And depending on where you were raised in the world, you would use one instead of the other. So I'm saying with Gal Gadot, the way that they're scripting her is she's someone who says return, and the script has her say bring it back, which just makes a disconnect of the authenticity of it. Does that make sense?
In some regards. Do I know any Israeli people now? I don't think I know any Israeli people now. I don't think I keep in touch with anybody anymore. But I used to know a lot, coming from the area of New Jersey that I was from, I knew a lot of Israelis, or Jewish people who'd been to Israel, saying like, I knew plenty. And I've never heard anybody with that accent that Gal Gadot has. I mean, she's got a horrible, terrible accent. Like she's thinking of every word she's about to say before she says it. Like every single word is a struggle. It's like, I went to this. Shut up. Stop talking. You're a beautiful face. You're great for Instagram. Shut your damn mouth. Just, can we get a voiceover, please? Like, I don't think that she's a great actress. I don't think there's anything great about her whatsoever. Like I said, the big thing I always said about her, and people can call me a hater if you want, that's fine. I prefer good movies and good actresses and actors in a movie. I think that the best part that really explains everything you need to know about Gail Gadot's horrible acting and the genius of Patty Jenkins in making that movie is the Charlie scene, where here's this guy that had no business going over there. They knew he had some form of PTSD or something else.
Mhm.
They knew there was no way that he was going to be able to get any shot off. He was completely useless to that movie, except that he played piano. So the whole thing, all that stuff was just so that she could have, think about it, him not being able to shoot, him coming over, him getting into a fight where he gets his ass beat, him going over there, walking around hoisting this freaking giant rifle everywhere they go, him talking and everything that he's had to say, everything, just for him to have that scene where he's crying, I'm useless, and blah, 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 after he's singing and whatnot, so that she could say, but Charlie, then who would sing for us? And then everybody has a happy moment. She had what? All of that was just so she can get that one sentence off, because Charlie had zero to do with the entirety of that movie except to have that line said on her, and nothing else had to do with Wonder Woman as far as that Charlie character was concerned. Just that one line. So, and he dances with her at one point. The whole thing was just completely contrived because, and Patty Jenkins herself said, I would not have chosen Gal Gadot to be Wonder Woman.
Gal.
Whatever. I wouldn't have chosen. What did I say?
You said Gail.
Okay, fine. Gal. Guys and gals. Ms. Gadot. Miss Gadot. Whatever the hell her name is. All right. She freaking, like, you're correcting me on my pronunciation. My God, man.
Well, you kept doing it.
Oh, my bad. Don't make me pull out my red marker and go to town on you, bud. So anyway, I just think that she's a horrible actress, and Patty Jenkins seems to agree, but she's already been cast before. She said, I wouldn't have made that decision, but she was already pre-cast as Wonder Woman, so what could I do?
And pregnant, wasn't she?
Gail was pregnant at the time?
No, not Gail. Gal.
What's the next thing we're going to talk about?
I was going to segue into the way that you hate her is probably the way I hate Nia Jax. Nia Jax, excuse me.
Is it Nia?
No,
Why
it's actually Nia.
Nia.
That was the joke.
Jackass.
You think Buckle Bomb should be canceled from WWE?
I think that Nia Jax should be canceled from WWE. That's something that we agree on. She doesn't have, positive heat on her. I think she's got go away heat as far as I'm concerned. I think that there's too many reports out there that she's dangerous, too many reports out there that WWE is only keeping her because they don't want AEW to get her, and because they want to keep her.
What? You think they think
and
AEW
because they want
her?
to keep the Rock happy.
Uh-huh.
And if they don't keep The Rock happy, what if The Rock decides to go over to AEW?
That's never happening, though.
How do you know that?
I guess I don't know that.
So that's the thing. I think that they're just trying to keep The Rock happy. That's what a lot of people are reporting on. Maybe it's just a rumor, and I don't like dealing with rumors, but I can't see any other reason to keep her. If she's that dangerous to the talents, which clearly she is, she doesn't belong.
I think maybe a year ago we could have this discussion of, well, they're doing it just to keep The Rock happy. But since she got Kairi Sane twice, 2 matches in a row, I think now you could do it. And what's Dwayne going to say? He's going to be like, hey, wait. I'm sure he's not even going to make that phone call. I'm sure like the whole making him happy or making him not happy is sort of just a feeling of everything. There's no
You'd
actual...
think that. But think about, like, I don't know if you ever heard the term the Hatfields and the McCoys.
No.
All right, this is the like a Wild West kind of thing. The Hatfields family and the McCoys family, and they're always feuding with each other no matter what, because a chicken walked into the other and somebody accidentally killed the chicken, and they're like, well, he shouldn't have walked into my... It's just some silly little thing anyway. It's just the idea of blood is thicker than water, this kind of thing. You remember the whole Roman Reigns thing? The WWE, specifically Vince McMahon, was pushing Roman Reigns hard. And they were pushing him so hard, it didn't come across as authentic. And most of us, myself included, was like, dude, I think that Roman's got everything. But you're pushing him so damn hard that it's actually pissing me off. You don't get to tell me who I'm going to cheer for. And when you do, I'm going to
Oh
revolt.
my
And
god.
I
They
hated
do,
it.
but they do
Right?
tell you who to cheer for.
They do. And I hated Roman Reigns for that reason. Look,
Yeah.
the guy's a good-looking guy. He looks like a big guy. He acts like a big guy.
He's
He's
safe.
got he's very safe. Great point. He's safe. He's good for all the other wrestlers. He's got a good move set. I mean, it's not a great move set, but
What's
he's
that?
he's got a move set like Kane. Think about it. Kane always does the same things.
Yeah.
Who has Kane ever hurt in his entire life?
Yeah.
Nobody. Right? He's never hurt anybody. So whatever it is, but that's the thing. It's also Vince McMahon saying, "Oh, you did that thing. Keep on doing that thing with the whole cock of the thing. You're
Mhm.
jerking off your arm. What are you doing? That's stupid. Stop doing that." You know what I'm saying? When he punches the freaking ground and whatnot, it's like he always punches it, and then his arm always moves a little bit. You ever notice that?
No, I don't.
When he you'll know you'll never miss it
I
from now
fast
on when
forward
you look at all the
entrance.
other matches.
I skip forward entrances. They're the same
No,
formulaic.
this isn't a match. This is right before he does
Yeah.
the Superman punch thing.
And then he
He'll
moves
do
it?
the boom. He'll punch the mat, and
Ah.
he'll hit it. And since the ring bounces, his hand will move over a little bit. I think it moves to
Oh.
the right just a little bit. But go back and look at all of his matches. Every single one that happens, and I
Uh-huh.
notice these details. You know,
Yeah.
and the whole ooh ah. It's okay. Just stop. That's fucking stupid. Please stop. Stop with the
Remem-
ooh ah stuff.
Remember are they saying boo or boo earns? Remember that? Every time he goes in from The Simpsons, every time they say that, he says that, I'm like, are they saying ooh ah or are they booing him? And
Right.
it's a little bit of both.
Right.
Because the ooh is really loud, and then the ah, it's like only half the people who are oohing are
Yeah.
awing.
As much as
noticed-
people, good.
Little moments like the Sasha Banks entrance theme. First note is always missing in her old theme, because I guess the day that they recorded it or moved the file, they skipped that first beat of her entrance theme, and I've noticed that, and that pisses me off. So I can relate to that. You noticing the punch on the ring and it bounces and it moves him.
Yeah.
The buckle bomb though should probably considered to be canceled, because it's a move where you're not looking at your own bump. You're not in control of your own fall. All you have to do, or all you have to go off of, is your position. You look ahead of you. You can see that the ring post is there. You're gonna have to center yourself, and hopefully, when you extend your left and your right arm on the ropes, you will find the buckle. But anything to the back where you can't actually see where you're bumping
Or
is
the other guy.
dangerous.
Or the other guy. And I know there's going to be some people who are going to say, "Oh, but when you take a power bomb is still on a flat surface that, moves." But as far as what do you call it, the buckle bomb, that's turnbuckle
Mhm.
on a ring post that is not moving a slightest bit, and it's not a flat surface. It's a specifically round. So and just whatever. Like it's not the same as falling on the mat. Not even when not Sammy Owens, Kevin Owens. When
Yeah.
Kevin Owens does the power bomb or whatever on the corner of the ring or the edge of the ring, the hardest part of the ring.
Oh, don't let me get started on that one. Yeah.
In the life story of the Undertaker, he talks about how he always, whenever he would do that one leg drop on the outside of the ring, he's like, that's the hardest part of the ring. I was like, shut up, Michael Cole.
But it is the hardest part of the ring, and it makes the least sound of the thing. So similar to the buckle bomb, is it really worth it? The reaction you're going to get from the
hurt
move.
Sting. They injured Sting, and WWE actually doesn't even care if Sting goes to AEW. He's in talks to go to AEW. You know that?
All right.
Yeah, I'm good for it, and I look forward to seeing him actually doing that, which means we're not going to get the Sting and Undertaker match.
Yeah, Sting is a legacy character who I would love to see.
Yeah.
Like someone else get the face paint, someone else be screwed by the system, and then just becomes Sting. He goes mute, he brings a baseball bat. That could work.
100%. But yeah, and it could wind up working a lot. It's funny because they said about Daniel Bryan, you can't go back to wrestling again. So he says, okay, fine. When my contract ends, I'm going to someplace else. And they're like, I think you're in great health, bud.
Dr. Maroon, it's him.
Yeah, he says you're fine. Yeah, you can come on back. Same thing with Edge. He was like, listen, I just got an offer from AEW.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? You know what? You've been doing your own stunts on your TV show. Let's get you checked out again.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor says that it's good. Okay, you come on back. Sign a 5-year contract, a 50-year contract. Like, dude, yeah. So, but the idea that they were willing to let Sting go, this shows you the mentality of Vince. Like, this is idiotic. This is idiotic. He just doesn't get how popular Sting really is. And he doesn't have to do much. Like, he just walks in, he's got the baseball bat, doesn't have to talk if he doesn't want to. Once in a while, just do a woo, and people will go crazy for it. Smack somebody with that bat, dude.
Yeah, he's still in pretty good shape. He's not going to be
For a 62,
wrestler.
I think he's 62, right?
Wow, he's 62. Okay, I thought he was younger than that.
No, I'm a month away from being 45, and I wish I was in that guy's shape. You know what I'm saying? And I do my DDP yoga almost daily.
That guy's in his 60s.
Bang! I'm telling you, man, this is an idiotic move if they let Sting go over there. And I'm sure that Triple H is saying, no, Vince, listen to me.
Triple H has no say in this conversation. He
Nope.
beat him at WrestleMania 31.
And that was Vince's decision. Yeah, that's just idiotic, man. So idiotic. Because he still had that mentality of, no, we can't let the WCW, like, he represents the WCW. We can't let the WCW win.
Okay.
Dude, that was 20 years ago.
Vince
He
McMahon.
just doesn't get it. Vince is a fossil, and he's going to be around for years. You know the kind of shape that he's in. He's going to be around forever, and he's going to be screwing over wrestling fans forever. Man, this guy's going to live to be 100-something.
Good for him.
Bad for us. I don't want him to die. I don't wish him ill health.
Yeah,
I just want him to freaking stop and say, listen, H, do your thing. You do a good
H.
job. Yeah, not
Paul.
my idiotic daughter. Yeah, Paul Levesque. Not my idiotic daughter. Not my jackass son. No, let's actually just let Paul do this.
I got you.
Yeah, exact same thing that yeah, you're doing
CM
the
Punk.
CM Punk thing. Yeah, exact same. Like, I was just now thinking too, that pipe bomb promo.
Idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law and the rest of his stupid family. I can
Did
quote
he
that
say
promo.
idiotic daughter?
Yeah.
Oh wow, so I nailed that. Wow.
Yeah.
That actually wasn't something directly out of my memory, like exact quote.
That's why I was doing the hand CM Punk,
Yeah.
pre-match warm-up. For everyone who's listening to the podcast and not watching, they're like, what are they talking about? I'm talking about this, you guys. This, you can't see? Well, when this video is up on YouTube at the 1 hour and 7 minute mark, you can watch it there. And you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is called Chillmonger, which is an oxymoron. A monger can't be chill, I don't think. But some way, somehow, I made it work.
I think that it could work. I think that it works. A monger is like almost like a hoarder.
I would Google the definition of monger, but we're at the end of the podcast. So.
It's all good.
Where could they follow you on Twitch?
No, yeah, on Twitch, Comic Book University. I mostly just talk politics for now because this is a very heated thing. That's the reason why I didn't really care to do it here, and I don't really care to do it on my channel too much anymore. I want to try and keep comic books, the forefront. But on Twitch for now, since I can't do gaming on my channel, I figure, you know what? Let's just talk politics on my my Twitch channel. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm talking politics there. And if you're interested in what I've got to say about politics, by all means, Comic Book University _ in between each word on Twitch.
That's right.
And that's it. We're out. I'll see you next week, bro.
Yeah. Oh, no outro? All right, guys. Black Lives Matter. Peace out.
Professor Bill and Chill. Comic Book University. Class dismissed.